Everybody out. It's an exciting meeting to pick a new council person, so I'm glad you're all here. And that will happen in just a little bit. But first, do you have any conflict of interest, Heidi?
No.
John?
No.
Dave?
No, I don't.
I don't either. So next on the agenda is approval of the minutes. And do you have any questions, Dave?
No, I'm a good job. Thank you. Good job, Brenda.
You don't?
No.
Heidi?
No.
And I also say that very good job, there's a lot there. So I need a motion.
Make a motion that we accept the minutes for City Council meeting Tuesday, April the 2nd, 2013.
Second.
I'll second it.
Any discussion on the motion? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Then they pass. Okay, next on the agenda is what we're all waiting for, which...
No.
Oh, hang on. Let me look at the agenda. Let's see. I forgot to put the Eagle Scout. Okay, we have an Eagle Scout project, and the young gentleman that was going to do that has decided to do something else, so that one will come off the agenda. Or we just won't do it. Okay, so next is what we're all waiting for, which is the new introduction of the people that are coming for the council and their questions and the picking the person. So first of all, what we're going to do is have you come up and answer. We've give everybody that's put in for it a set of questions to go through. And we want you to take 10 or 15 minutes, so we don't want you to spend a lot of time, just kind of go through them briefly. And when you come up, just say your name and then you're free to talk. And I'm not gonna, you're not in order or anything, it's at a random order, so don't worry about that. You won't know who's next because there's no order to it. And when you come up, just say your name so we have it on the record and speak into the mic. So first we will ask John Allen.
Before we do that, do we have a copy of those questions?
Yeah, your book.
There we go. There.
What, they had their books before?
No, we don't have it.
Oh,
Okay, good.
okay, wait a minute.
While she's doing that, I just would like to say that I've been in the position of trying to get appointed, so I know what it's like. And, you know, with the history of, we go back just very few months or whatever, there's quite a history of folks resigning. So, you know, maybe it's not quite as easy as what some people think it could be. I know that the four individuals that are involved, there are lots of reasons why each and every one of those folks should be on the council, and we have to choose only one. And keep in mind that in just a very few months, there's going to be 3 council spots and a mayor spot. So whatever happens today, we're going to do the best we can as a council to fill that spot for these few months. But whatever happens today, the candidates that are not selected, as well as the candidate that is, don't forget that it's coming right up, and there's plenty to do in the city. So.
I'm just going to read through what the questions are, so those that don't have a copy know what they are. The first one is, please explain your professional and educational background. Do you have any local government experience? In our city, we have minimal staff. A position on the city council is a working position in which you will be assigned areas of responsibility that you are accountable to the mayor and the citizens of the land. You will be required to attend meetings, investigate actions and requests, prepare required reports, make inspections, etc., and to report on your assignments at city council meetings. Do you have experience in any of the following areas? Culinary, water, city planning, roads, park, care and maintenance, cemetery, planning, expansion, inventory of drains, grade locations, streetlights, planning, location, city requirements, roads, planning and maintenance, snow plowing, planning, equipment maintenance, railroad relations, stormwater, garbage collection, recycling, public relations, and website design and maintenance. Do you feel that you are in a position to be able to do this work? How many hours a month would you be able or available for meetings, research, etc. on your areas of responsibility? What do you feel is the biggest obstacle you will encounter in serving on city council? Any additional information you would like to give that you feel is necessary for the city council to make the decision? So those are the questions. So, John?
The privilege of going first.
You're used to going first.
Yeah,
When she
usually
said
first
it
in the
was
comment period, right?
When she said it was just random, you don't believe that, do you?
Anyway, again, my name is John Allen, and my professional background is I have a VSEE from Purdue University. I am currently the director of software engineering at a small defense contractor called Foresight, located at the Ogden Airport Gateway. We do mostly military work for special operations divisions of the military. That's part about the extent I can discuss that. So I do have a lot of experience.
Otherwise you'd have to kill us, right?
Yeah. I have a lot of experience. I've been an engineer for probably 20 years. My background, I started as a simple software engineer. I'm at the point now where I manage about 10 guys in various systems and software engineering. So quite used to that avenue of it. Do I have any local government experience? Not any government experience per se. However, I'm sure all of you are well aware that I've attended almost every council meeting in the past 6 months to a year. I've learned a lot. When I first came in here, I don't think I knew anything about council, but I wanted to get involved because there were some important issues at hand, and I wanted to understand more from both sides, from the citizen side, from the council member side, and get more in depth in the explanations of what was going on. To that end, I've had several discussions after meetings, during times that there weren't meetings with council members about issues, and every time I talk to one of you, I learn something new about your backgrounds, your opinions on different subjects, and I sort of meld that into my own. The other experience I would have is I participated in several volunteer projects locally. We did the roofing work with Dave. I helped organize the labor on that. He provided the yummy pizza and drinks. And it was a nice day to get together with the other members of our community and put that roof on. I'm currently on the UDAS committee. I enjoy that. I enjoy working with the other people on that committee. So that's nice to do. The next question, do you have any experience in the following areas? I'm just going to pick a few out here. Parks care and maintenance, I maintain my own yard. I'm sure people have driven past my house and see I try to take care of it, to the 10th degree there. I grew up on a dairy farm, so I'm not scared of hard labor. So, that's not a difficult thing to do. Public relations, I'm an active member of the UDG Facebook page. I come to council meetings a lot, so I interact with many of the citizens that we have now. So I think I'm pretty good at discussing issues with people, listening to their sides of it, sort of blending in their opinions with my opinion, and formulating a new opinion that sort of is the combined opinion of the entire city. Web design and maintenance, I'm an engineer, software engineer by trade, so this is, fairly remedial stuff. It's actually, in the past, I'd like to think that I sort of spearheaded some of the communication efforts here in the city and asked the council to start things like Facebook pages. I know some of them were in the works before I even discussed it, but the newsletter, when Lee was actually in charge and on the council, he asked me many occasions some technical support on the Facebook pages and things like that. So that's kind of my expertise there. Do I feel I'm able to do this work? Well, absolutely. I wouldn't be here tonight. I know it's a lot of work involved in this. You know, this kind of goes with the next question about how many hours am I available? Well, the answer is as many as I need to be here. You know, I have a 40-hour week job, and, you know, there's time to sleep. Other than that, I'm an active participant in not only discussion groups, you know, with the UDA's committee. I see a lot of potential volunteer projects. I've discussed cleaning up the water tank with the mayor area. I know the cemetery needs work. I'd like to be involved in that. And the walkway with Don is a passionate project for me as well. I see that as a, you know, some way that we can get citizens involved in the volunteer efforts there as well as that. What's the biggest obstacle? I think the biggest obstacle right now, and it's probably the reason that we have 4 candidates here tonight, as opposed to in the past, you know, Brenda herself told me that they've had difficulty filling positions in the past. So why do we have 4 people tonight? Well, I think the problem is there's a bit of volatility in our community. And, you know, I hate to hesitate that there's there's 2 sides on this issues, but I'd like to think that I see both sides. I don't think they're that far apart. I think our biggest problem up until now has been communications. I think it's improved a lot. I think the newsletter's gotten better. I think the Facebook pages are great. I think the information on the main city webpage is increased tremendously, and that's a good thing. But it has been a little lax since it seems like Lee may have possibly been in charge of a lot of that, so it's kind of gone downhill a little bit the last couple of weeks. But I like to think that I'm probably one of the better persons to deal with that because I'm level-headed. You know, I don't get upset very easily, and I tend to listen to all of people's opinions, and you know, sort of bring it together into a common answer. Any additional information? Well, I have a few things here. I just want to recant some things that I have done for the city in the past. Some of them include participated in council meetings, discussed issues with various members, Don and Lee. I had a great meeting one time when things sort of culminated on some difficulties they were having with some citizens, and asked my advice, and I gave my advice, and I like to think it helped, so hopefully it did. Like I say, I'm always here. I stay after meetings, and I discuss the issues with every council member. I already mentioned the roofing project, and I actually look forward to more volunteer projects. I think we can really save the city some money on volunteer labor as well as donations. I'm sure you all know that I have made some monetary donations to Eastern New Days because of the fact that the YCC's budget was cut. I thought it would be great for the citizens to step up and donate some funds to the Easter project to keep it going, even though unfortunately I was out of town and unable to attend. As I said, I'm a member of the UDA's committee, and I've provided tech support to the Facebook pages and the newsletters with Lee. I also have made some other recommendations to the city on other volunteer projects. I really think that's the key, is getting people involved. If you get the citizens involved in these projects, they're going to take an ownership into it and an active participation, and you know that's going to do nothing but benefit the entire city. And then the next note I wanted to make was some things that I thought that, you know, to answer the question, what would you do? What's the first thing you would do if you were on the council? And here's some things I thought. Well, first of all, I would thank the council and the supporters for giving me the opportunity to be on the council, you know, and to participate, you know, make a difference in our city. I'd like to increase and stabilize the communication efforts. Like I said, they've been really good up until this point, but I think we need more of it. I think, you know, a couple council meetings ago, there was a packet that was added to the Facebook page, and that was excellent. I love the extra detail in that, so I'd like to see that happen more often. Since I am a technical person, I'd offer to take an active role in updating our technical mediums, the Facebook page, the websites, things like that. I'd like to arrange more volunteer labor efforts for working on the walkway, the cemetery, these other cleanup projects that need to be done, the memorial for the Memorial Park, the stone. I think there's some opportunity there to get the citizens involved in that monetarily as well as, labor-wise. One of the things I'd like to do is, since I'm a new father and my wife's a new mother, she doesn't get to come to the meetings. She originally came to the meetings several months ago, but now she stays home with the baby. Well, I have the opportunity to come. I'd like to look into ways of streaming the meetings online, so they'd be available, and I already know the technical way to solve this, so that people like her can participate in the meetings, at least 5 weekends. Another thing I'm going to do, I've written down here, was survey citizens to get their opinions on issues. I guess I kind of do that now, the UDG group, as well as, I talk to the council members. A lot of these people on the UDG don't have the opportunity to come to meetings, or don't have the time, or whatever it may be. They have their opinions, you guys have your opinions. I think the more opinions, the better, because after all, if I was appointed, we would be representatives of the citizens of the city. So their opinions do count, and they are very important. Now, is one person's opinion more important than the other? No, but and no two people are probably going to agree on any subject. However, there's always this happy medium where you can work to make everybody happy about it, and compromise. And that's the last point I have. So, thank you.
And next is Zig Swander.
Hello, I'm Zig Swander. I'm currently a police sergeant for Syracuse Police Department. Been out there in Syracuse for 6.5 years. I have a bachelor's degree in business administration. It says if you had any local government, I'm currently on a planning commission for the town of Uinta. Relatively new at that, still learning the law. Says here that you would be accountable to the mayor and the citizens of Uinta. I think that's very important. I think by being on this council is that you're the mouthpiece of the citizens. Got to make sure that you're talking with them, see what's important to them for this community. Do I have any experience in any of this list of stuff? Basically what I've done on the planning commission, what we've approved, that type of thing, so that's very little. Plus with my professional experience out there on the streets, is that kind of stuff. I'm in a position to do this work, or else I wouldn't even apply. I feel I'm capable. I think I have some respect in the community. I think I could be a voice of the people. I really do. How many hours? I think that's just a given in regards to if it's an important issue, the time needs to be spent to look at the facts, look at the consequences and that type of stuff of what we're deciding on. I think I've made that point clear on several occasions. The biggest obstacle that I think I have is just that relatively new in government, but I'm eager to learn, I'm willing to learn. I think those of you who know me, if you were to come and ask me to do something, I give 120% into it. And I just want you guys to know you got some great candidates here. It's going to be a tough choice for you guys to make that choice. Thanks for your time.
Thank you. Okay, next is Gregory Johnson.
Mayor and council, I am Greg Johnson. I'm a Uinta resident of about 4 years now. I have moved from South Weber after being there for 9 years. When we originally moved here, to be honest, it was more because we found work property that we couldn't find in South Weber. but after being here a short amount of time, I'm really glad that we made the move. We love the community, we love the area that we live. Anytime you got the river running along your back pasture, it's time to be. My professional and educational background, I have a bachelor's degree in criminal justice. I'm retired from the United States Air Force. I spent 10 years as an aircraft mechanic, and then the last 11 years back to duty as a special agent with the Air Force OSI. Upon my retirement, I was rehired as a civilian special agent. Served another 5 years at Hill Air Force Base, and then they decided that they were going to start moving us every 4 years with our families again, and so I decided it was time to find a new career where I could keep my family from moving so that my wife didn't leave me. So I was lucky enough at the time, the Office of Inspector General with the Postal Service was opening an office in Utah. I received a call, asked if I was interested, absolutely. And so since 2005, I've been an agent with the Postal Service, criminal investigations for fraud, embezzlement, mail theft, and misconduct type of things. As far as having any local government experience, not specifically local government unless you consider the fact that the Air Force as a whole, on an installation, is basically a small government-run operation. Part of my job as I became senior in our office was the assistant agent in charge and at times the acting agent in charge. So I got to deal with the heads of the base, the commanders, which there are many, talking about issues such as budget, where we can move money, what money we can't use, certain things that take precedence, like aircraft in the air versus what somebody else may want. So you have a lot of competing interests out there that sometimes you have to be able to deal with and relate to those. So not local government exactly, but a similar type of environment. One of the things that really interested me was when I started talking to, and I had an opportunity to speak with all of you, you talked about it being a working council. And to be honest with you, just to sit in front of folks twice a month wasn't really what interested me. What interested me was the getting involved in being responsible for certain items, to be responsible to the citizens of Uinta. So that was really what pretty much drove me. I think that responsibility and accountability is something that I'm looking for. One of the things that really pushed me was I kind of realized that as I looked around and we talked about how much we loved being here, was that everything that I loved about this city, once we moved here, was basically set up by the citizens, those that are elected and those that are not elected. And I thought it was kind of time for, rather than just sit back and enjoy the work that everybody else did, it was time to roll up my sleeves and put in some work myself. As far as experience in the following items, I collect my own garbage, plow my own roads, cut my grass, and other than that, that's about it. But I will say that having been around for a little while, and I only cut my hair so the gray doesn't show, I have had a lot of opportunities to get involved in projects through work, things of that nature, and I have no problems doing dirty work, learning how to do it, and listening to folks that have done it before me. I definitely feel that I'm in a position to do the work. Like everybody else said, I certainly wouldn't put anybody in a position to appoint me to find out later on that I wasn't available or capable. As far as the hours go, I'm going to have to echo the two gentlemen before me, and basically whatever it takes. I think that if you raise your hand and make a commitment to your community, the least you can do is make sure that you're available. So that will not be an issue. As far as biggest obstacles, mine is that a lot of people don't have a clue who I am. So that's, to be honest with you. I haven't really had any issues. I haven't had any needs personally to call and pick up the phone and call the city office about anything. And that's one of the reasons why I became interested. Like, something's got to be, I mean, there's nothing for me to complain about. So, you know, somebody's doing a good job, and it's time for me to put my hat in the ring to help out. Any additional information? No, I don't believe so. I've had an opportunity, it was a pleasure to talk to each and every one of you guys separately. I didn't want tonight to be the first day you ever see me. So with that, I'll go ahead and close. Thank you.
Appreciate that. Okay, board, you're last.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Council, for allowing me to visit with you for a little bit tonight. Let me echo Zeke Saunders' comments there. We've got 3 real strong candidates and one that barely knows how to use spell check on the computer, so I don't envy your choice.
Now, wait a minute, John said he's good with computers.
I am not referring to anybody myself. I just learned how to do cut and paste yesterday, so I'm making great headway now. Explain your professional and educational background. I was the outstanding student for 4 years running at Mrs. Skadden's daycare preschool. An honor student, graduate there. Went to Club Heights where I was named the mediocre student of the year 4 or 5 times. On the South Junior High, graduated Bonneville High, so you know that I'm kind of from the south end of town here. Our family's roots go deep in UNA. I was kidding Robin before I stood her. I was going to tell him that she used to ride in a Flaming U junior posse, carried the flag in the rodeo, Hog and Pioneer days. So we have some deep roots that go way back to this critical town we live in. We're glad to be here. My professional background is, I like to say that I was a rocket scientist. I worked for the United States government. We went from Air Force to Defense Contract Management Agency to DLA, depending on what day of the week we had acronym, who we were working for. I worked at ATK, Thiokol. We built the rocket boosters for the shuttle program. I was a team lead, technical lead there, where I had 6 or 7 people working under me, where I ran the crew at Clearfield. We were a satellite agency from the main plant out Promontory. Clearfield, we did all the reefer work for the boosters were fishing out of the ocean. And so we were satellite operation. I was there and reported to my boss. Didn't have my boss over my shoulder all the day. And had quite a few outstanding and sustained superior awards for that kind of activity there. So I feel like she could, the different bosses I had could trust me in that. My local government experience, I was looking on the wall up here. I've been on the planning commission under 4 different mayors now. So it's been quite a long time. Enjoyed that experience immensely. Learned quite a bit. Hope to continue to learn more as we go through there. It says that we have minimal staff in the city. I've become acutely aware of that as serving as the planning commission chair the last few months and coming to a staff meeting here and seeing the number of hours that the council puts in to different activities that I don't think the general populace of the city really knows how many hours and how dedicated the council is to that. So I think that's a good thing that they know about. Along those lines, let me skip down a little bit there. I'm retired now, so do I have enough time to dedicate to the job? Yeah, Robin would probably like me to get out of the house a little bit more often than what I'm doing and be more involved with interacting with people instead of sitting there all day. So yes, I have plenty of time. I think I have the ability and the skills to do the jobs, the assignments that are put before me. Going down the list here, any experience in the following areas? Culinary water. Yeah, I drink water. You know, we have the water there. I will make this comment. It surprises me how often we have to go and take samples for the water and get the water tested. I don't think the citizens that know that we do that every month. Quite a lengthy thing to do that the city staff, the maintenance guys take care of there. So I have a little bit of area there. City planning, I'd probably say that's my strong suit, just because I've been on the planning commission for so long. The last month has been very, very hectic with trying to get the subdivision that we're working on done, meeting with the engineer, meeting with the city attorney. So those things, it's been a great learning experience. Roads, don't have too much experience on that. Parks, care and maintenance. Another area that I'm really surprised about is the requirements that the federal government puts on now that our city workers can't go out and just throw down fertilizer. They've got to be certified before they can fertilize our lawns, city park now. So I know a little bit about some of those things that are going on in there. Cemetery planning, I support improving the cemetery. That there's a lot of people who find great solace up there, and so I think we need to keep that going. Going down to public relations, I really don't have any experience with snowplow, railroad relations. Probably the thing that I do is cuss the railroad when I get stuck behind the train, so that would be the extent of my relations there. Stormwater, I'm amazed again at the requirements that are put on the maintenance guys, that even if we have a culinary water leak, if they dig up the dirt, they have to make sure that that dirt dries out and has at least 40 feet of vegetation that it has to go through to filter out the silt and everything before it goes to the river or even into a ditch. So there's a little bit, for those that don't know, stormwater is a big issue with us now. Living down by the river, things like that, we have big issues with that. Realize that we have a problem with South Ogden, dumping their water off of the church up on the hill down here and expecting us to take care of that. So, and have a little bit of that. Public relations, I like to think that I can get along with people. I like to think that I have the ability to communicate, try and learn about people, learn where they're coming from. That goes down to kind of the bottom there of any additional information. If I'm appointed to the city council, I would say this: if you don't agree with the way that I'm going to vote, or you want to lobby me to vote a certain way, bring data. Make sure you have facts, figures, bring something to me. While I appreciate the passion and emotion that people in the city have for local government, that doesn't cut it with me. I'm kind of a logical guy. You take me step by step, and I need to know that. So if you don't like something that the city council is doing, come to me with data, facts, figures, something that I can relate to. Another thing that I'd really like to emphasize is that I think that we should treat each other civilly. I think that we need to be able to express our differences. And then, as Dorinda and I did today after a staff meeting, have a hug and make sure that we're all good with that. So I think that we can express our differences and disagree on things without being disagreeable. And so I thank the council for the time and their efforts. And any questions for me?
No.
Thank
Thank you very much. Okay, I want to thank all of the candidates for putting in and for your willingness to come up and respond to the questions and to share what you've done. No matter what, I know you're all qualified, and any one of you will do a good job. And those that don't think that I have a job for you, I think I've been thinking of different things I can have to do. So we'll see how that goes. We have some boards that need to be scrubbed and whatnot. So anyway, this is how we're going to vote on the candidates. There's been a big change in the law, and so the voting will all be done in the open. The council will vote for one of the individuals that's running. When I say the name, you'll raise your hand for the person that you're voting on. I will call each name in no particular order. At the end of the voting, I'll tally the votes to see who has the most. If no one has the most votes, or there is a tie, then we'll follow the rules under the Utah Code 20A-1-510 Pred 1, Pred C, which says the vacancy is filled by lot in presence of the council. By lot can mean anything from cutting the deck, throwing dice, drawing straws, or any other game of chance. So that's how Utah Code picks it. And I remember previously we flipped a quarter. And so I have brought my cards, okay, if we need them. And we'll do
Good,
cards.
nobody had a quarter.
Okay, the person who wins will be the next city council person. So, I'll
No
just,
time for meditation or consideration, or anything, just right into it.
right, we just go right into it. So, the candidates are not in a certain order, they're just however I put them down. So I will call a name and just raise your hand. So the first one is Gregory Johnson. Okay, second one is John Allen. Third one is Gordon Cutler. And the fourth one is Zeke Swan. Okay, so on this, we had 2 for Gordon Cutler. So I need a motion.
I'll make a motion that we accept Gordon Cutler as a council member.
A second.
I'll second it.
Is there any comments on the motion? Okay, all in favor?
Just Gordon.
Aye.
Aye. And anyone opposed? Okay, the motion passes, and I need a roll call. Dave?
Yes.
Ron?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Heidi?
Yes.
Okay. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Do you want to come up here and take your
No.
place? This one. You want to show him where he's at in his book?
Yeah. You're familiar with the seat on the end, right?
Get it.
Oh, next on the agenda is to swear you in. So now you have to get up again and stand in front of them.
Back here, so it's on the record.
I'll teach you to fight with me.
That's right. All right.
Yes, please raise your right hand. I
I, Gordon Cutler,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
or affirm that I will support,
or affirm that I will support,
obey, and defend
obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of this state,
and the Constitution of this state,
and that I will discharge
and that I will discharge
the duties of my office
the duties of my office
with fidelity.
with fidelity.
Sign it. Way right here.
Who's that hug?
Why is this one chair?
Robin, do you want to take a picture? Or did you not bring your?
Oh, I want to take a picture. Here, go back.
You gotta go
I'll
back
take
and
the
hold your
picture.
hand up.
Usually the mayor has a camera too.
I don't know how to take
brought
pictures
cards.
yet.
She was on.
Standing next to him, Mike.
No, oh.
She needs to be standing next to him.
Oh, Robin, okay.
Yes, no.
Yeah, let's order it.
It's okay.
It's all right, come on. It's a once in a lifetime opportunity, really. Take it away you can.
While they're doing that, can he still serve as the chair of the planning commission?
No. Well, he can until we appoint somebody.
We're in trouble.
That's what I was.
Are you volunteering?
No.
What's your seniority in there, Scott?
So those that didn't get it, there's a new position on the planning commission available, if anybody's interested. So, and I thought it'd be cool if we had to do the card thing, but we're Anyway, next on the agenda is the treasury report. So Mike? Okay, first we'll do the invoice register. Does anybody have any questions on the invoice register?
I do. Give me a second.
Okay.
maybe Mike's not the one to answer the first question. I was just curious about the Jones and Associates, 3 different things. Do we have an idea what those were for?
Which page are you on?
This is on page 7.
You want to
So what
answer?
you, well, yeah, I think well, what I recollect, I remember, what you got, the differences are different projects they were working on. So, yeah, I mean, it's,
3 different projects.
it's one invoice, but I can't remember which.
Right.
But yeah,
Yeah,
there's other
curious.
projects that they're working on. I can get you the detail on which projects. Later.
So, just so the public knows, what happens when a bill comes in, depending on what the bill is for, it could be for more than just one project.
Right.
We split them up by code, so they can appear on the thing more than one time. That's what he's
I
referring
knew
to.
that was a good explanation.
Well, rather than writing 3 different checks,
Right.
it's just kind of one check.
Okay, the next question I was curious about is on 11, the sensor for the 15 debate signs. March,
What's the code?
Sensor or, which I'm sorry.
Right here.
We understand.
it's the 3rd item down on page 11.
Oh, it's censored there. We can just a little bit ahead of time, bring the actual English. That was probably, well, I think,
That's coded under the fire department.
fire department, so, yeah, so it's fire,
Do you know?
I don't know right off.
No, Mark, do you know?
What was the question?
It's coded under the, it's a sensor for the
Sensor
fire
under
department.
charge on the credit cards for,
Oh, you know what? Was it a repair of your truck? How much is it?
It was 1,000.
Yeah.
1,050? Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, that was for the, yeah, a sensor on the fire truck plus a water pump. Water pump for the engine, not for the
Sensor
water tank.
Thank you.
Okay, the next question is under my department. I should have known what's happening, but on page 13, the second item talks about wiper blades. And then we have the last 2 items on the next page are also wiper blades.
That's because they were split between departments. It was the truck, if you turn on the truck, the light plates would come up and stop in the middle of the window when they wouldn't work. So they were-
Well, I think there was a couple things, I probably need to put more detail on wiper blades. I think they had a motor repair between the 2, and so then we split it between the, kind of divvy it up between departments.
I should have,
But if I remember right, there was also the wiper motor repair as well in that. If you like, again, I'll go back and pull that.
You know, maybe if you
Report
just
that.
put a little bit more information when you do.
I can get it later. I should have, that was mine to approve, so I just looked a little different.
Yeah, and I think the mayor's point is correct. Just understand that sometimes when you have one, we may split it up into
Right,
departments, so it looks like the 3 different ones, when they have
Right.
2 different ones, it's the same deal.
Okay. That's all my questions.
Okay, anybody else have any questions? Okay, I need a motion.
I'll make a motion that we approve the invoice register for March 1st, 2013 through March 31st, 2013.
Second.
Second it?
Okay, all in favor, any discussion on the motion?
Yeah, I'm going to abstain on this because I haven't had time to look over that invoice, so I don't know sure what.
You do.
Being a new guy, NG here, I'm going to abstain.
Okay, so all in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion passes, and I have to roll call Dave.
Yes.
Don?
Yes.
And I say yes, and Heidi?
Yes.
And Michelle Jordan is abstaining. Okay, next on the agenda is the budget. No, transaction register. The transaction register, for those in the audience, is items that are in the, if they make a change on any of the water bills that are a credit or anything like that, they have to show up on the transaction register, and there is nothing listed there, so we'll skip that. The next item is the budget, and what we do is review the areas that we're responsible for. So, does anybody have any questions on these, on your areas? Okay, remember that we're getting to our budget time, and make sure you look through your departments and make sure if you need any changes or anything, that you get that on the list so that when we start having our budget meetings, we'll have that taken care of.
Are we gonna do a preliminary?
Yeah, you got a message.
Yeah, I knew that was coming.
And you have your preliminary worksheet tonight. Okay, then we don't approve the budget or anything, it's something we look at. So the very end of the report we have is the reversal report. And this is a report that's done for court transactions if they have credit issued to anybody that comes into court or something like that, so that we can track it to see if somebody's taking money out of there. And what we have on it this time is some, they were bail forfeitures where they paid for the bail, so that's what it is. And it came in and went back out. So that's all that's on there. So I need a motion for that. To approve it.
I'll make a motion that we accept the transaction reversal report for the dates of 3/04/2013 to 3/28/2013.
A second?
Second.
Okay, any comments on the motion? Okay, all in favor?
Yeah.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, and it's a roll call again, so Dave,
Yes.
Don,
Yes.
and I vote yes. Heidi?
Yes.
Okay, now.
I hate to do this, when you say I hate to do it, but I'm going to abstain again because I haven't had time.
That's
to
okay,
review that.
you're good.
We got 30 seconds, what are you talking about?
Like I say, cut and paste and learn how to do this today, so.
Okay, so the next item on the agenda is, oh, thanks. Just-
Thank you.
You can stay.
You can stay for the rest of the meeting if you want, or not, whichever you want.
Tuesdays, I have another commitment, so.
Okay.
But you don't have to stand up there if you don't want.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Okay, next on the agenda is the youth city council report. And Sabrina's here, so will you come up, please?
Yay, Sabrina, welcome.
Hello. Okay, for this month, we're planning on having a guest speaker, Gary Laird, and he's going to talk to us about like recycling garbage and stuff. And then for May, we are going to do flags for things and
Do flags for what?
I think it's Memorial.
Oh, Memorial?
For the veterans.
Oh, okay.
At the
Cemetery.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Fill in the blanks.
Yep.
And then June, we are going to sell scones at EJ's. Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yep.
Okay, does anybody have any questions for her?
How much are those going
How much are you willing to pay?
How big are they? Okay, so we appreciate you coming in and giving a report. It sounds like lots of fun. We'll see you at the cemetery.
Thanks, Sabrina.
Okay, next on the agenda is the building official, and we are in the process of putting in place a new building inspector, which will be Jeff Monroe. Some of you probably know him. He's the mayor of South Weaver, and he works for as a building inspector for Washington Terrace. And so Brent will be, his work is getting so busy that he'll be leaving us, and we'll be honoring him sometime soon, one of our meetings.
So what about the inspections that are in progress? Is Brent going to finish off or?
Brent is going to clear out the backlog list that he has, yes. Anything new, Jeff is doing, so. Okay. Next on the agenda is the fire department report. So Mike?
All right, well, we've finished up with our fire certification training. Passed all the practical testing that they've given us. And just awaiting the results of the written exam. And we should have that anytime between the end of this month and the end of next month.
So that means you will have, how many were involved? You've told us before. But just
There was 4 of us that were involved, that ended up being involved in that training. There is a prerequisite actually for that that is fairly new, and that is having the hazardous hazmat operations training also. So we'll be starting that here on the 27th this month. That'll run for another 4 weeks.
So will there be others involved besides the 4 of you then?
No, it's again, it's a pretty rigorous schedule for that training, and I just got a call from one of our firemen today that he's going to have to back out of that for right now. And we've ordered some books. He's still going to take a book and read through it, and he may still go through that with us, but he's got pretty busy with some personal stuff lately, so he's not sure right now if he can join us on that. So we'll just have to be flexible there.
How many did you have certified before? Did you have, I mean, do you have some additional that are certified or not? Or is it
There's
just
3 of us that are
certified previously?
firefighter 1 certified.
Okay.
And then when the training's all done with the 4 that are training now and with the other, then the result will be that it'll be,
Hopefully there'll be 4 of us that'll be firefighter 2 certified and 1 that'll be fire 1 certified. And then the plan will be to, with this certification, we can conduct training and in-house testing up to that level of certification. And we'll try to do that over the next 9-10 months, year, and get everybody familiar with what they need to know to pass office tests, and then just have the state tester come and administer the practical and the tests. So hopefully we can have a little better success at that, but we need to just come up with a good schedule, and hopefully people can make it. It's going to take some book work and a commitment to come to our